Hey, good afternoon, guys. This is Eric LeClaire over at Push Press, and I am honored to have Caleb with me here today. We got a chance to meet through our Event X program, and I was, of course, impressed with Caleb's leadership and his organizational structure and his creativity and initiative. And so I wanted to reach out and grab a bit of his time to share some things about his personality and his leadership style. And so, Caleb, if you don't mind, go ahead and give us a little background for the folks that are watching. Where are you from? Talk to us about your affiliate and maybe your background of your gym.
Yeah, love to, Eric. Thank you, guys. Thank y'all for having me on. I'm honored to be on this thing. So we're in Texas. We're in eastern rural Texas. Our affiliate offers specifically rowing, a rowing studio, obviously CrossFit classes, your standard morning, afternoon, and mid-morning class, and then we do nutrition coaching as well. So we have a registered dietitian on staff to walk people through nutrition coaching as well. We opened. We're brand new. We opened this past December, so we're just a few months into this thing. Yeah.
Talk about first year challenges, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Wild, man. So from an organizational standpoint, you're the owner, correct?
That's true. Yep.
Talk to me about any staff, coaches. You do have an RD, right? So they work for you as well.
Right. And then we've got 3 L1s. Okay. We've got a morning, an early morning, a mid-morning, and a late afternoon, as well as myself. So I coach a rowing studio, 2 rowing studio classes, CrossFit Kids, and then they're coaching CrossFit. And I coach CrossFit classes in the morning and afternoon as well. So we've got about 6 or 7 classes a day.
Wow. Okay. So we got a chance to see this from a national standpoint. We watched almost like certain states start closing down before other states. And so leading up to this, do you have a model or a leadership model that you have been developing your coaches on from when you opened? I know it was just very brief, but from when you opened until you started to hear about what's going on, were you working on their organizational structure, their sales pipeline? Walk me through how you're developing your coaches.
Sure. So, my approach in terms of leadership with our coaches is 1, just remain authentic. 2, know your story, and 3, just ask for feedback and thrive in feedback. And so, whether you're faced with a challenge of COVID-19 or a loss in the family or a ton of success, or really anything. If you know who you are, right, your identity, and you're always asking for feedback, trying to be sharpened, it doesn't matter on what end of the spectrum you're at, you're always going to be, 1, chipping away at becoming a better person, so that you can serve as a coach better. Right. And then 2nd, you're not going to get lost, right? You're not going to get lost in the madness of depravity, and you're also not going to get lost in the madness of uber success. Right. Trying to lead in that way, Okay.
How did you find your coaches? Did you develop them out of older clientele that you knew, or did you solicit them from the CrossFit community?
Yeah, definitely personal relationships. People that I knew outside of owning an affiliate, because again, we're brand new. Just going to the people that I knew, 1, that would be great people to have around. That's really the number 1 thing, is
so
culture.
Strong characters, good personality.
Exactly. Culture, is key. So making sure that character checkbox is always checked first. And then,
awesome.
Are they capable of coaching a class? Can they lead people safely? Do they understand the direction that we're going? And are they on board for, what the future could look like and what we want it to look like?
I dig it. I totally dig it. So we recognize that obviously in time of strife or struggle, obviously now a time of crisis, people look to leaders, both for morale or for purpose or for direction. And you have to fill those shoes, not only for your staff, but for your clients. So you
Sure.
saw that start to become real. How did you personally reflect on your willingness and readiness to take this on as now the infant affiliate owner, but yet in charge of all these people?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's a great question and a great point to make. So I'm glad that you asked that. I think as leaders, we have to remember to take that time to step back and reflect before we move forward. Like, in order to be as successful as we can be in this next phase, if we're not taking time for ourselves to process how I'm going to take this on as a leader, we won't be as successful as we could be had we taken that time. So for some, maybe it's a 30-minute step back. You know, I'm going to write some things down. I'm going to process some thoughts. For others, it might be a full weekend out at the lake. For others, it might be, man, I just need to have an evening where I sit and process this with my wife. But if we're not taking that time to take a step back and process that, again, I don't think we'll be successful. For me personally, it was one of those, you know, day and a half things over the weekend where I was kind of afforded some time the way that things laid out with our executive order and our government. You know, our governor came out and said on a Thursday, hey, effective Friday at midnight, everything is shut down. You're done until April 3rd, which is today, and it got extended to the 30th, right? And so for me, it was, taking that day and a half. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I think this is a good time to kind of insert a quote that I have found incredibly helpful from a leader that I highly value. He said, there's people that make things happen, there's people that let things happen, and there's people that ask what happened.
Dude.
And I think we have to choose to be the leaders that say, hey, I got punched in the mouth and I'm going to get up and I'm going to make something happen. You know, I'm not going to let this thing get me down.
I dig it, man. I dig it. I'm so impressed that is it's a quality piece to really put in front of owners' eyes right now and say, you got to make this choice. You have to do something. You know, sadly, we're looking at some affiliate owners and micro gym owners that are struggling, and we want to be able to lend a hand, and whether it's an academic hand or a support hand or, you know, something. It's exceptional that you can see that and understand that as the leader of your community, that you've got to take action immediately. So how did you communicate to your staff, hey, we've got to pivot. We got to get something moving here by let's say that next Monday. Did you have a meeting with them?
Sure.
When you made a decision?
Yeah. So, I mean, I called a staff meeting that, you know, immediate Friday. So within a day, it was, hey, we need to get together. We need to talk about, hey, what are the next steps? What are we going to roll out to our members as options to continue providing value for them? Because this is, you know, for a lot of people, you know, your second home. And so as things are deteriorating, you don't want this to be one of those things. So that was, you know, a lot of the same things that people are doing online, Zoom classes, morning, afternoon, nutrition challenges, getting together with our nutrition team and putting together a series of nutrition challenges that people can get engaged with. Daily at home workouts that open up our doors to the greater community, saying, hey, you don't even need a membership to be on this fitness journey. And hey, here's an introduction to some of the things that we do, allowing people to invite friends and family in during a hard time, man. Like, that's what we're all about, right? Move your body, be healthier. You don't have to have a membership to be healthier, you know?
Awesome. Now, did you happen to go down the direction of offering any kids programs since you already have kids connection? Are you doing anything for those kids that are now stuck at home out of school?
That's a great question. It's on the radar for sure.
Okay.
And actually, I'm a PE teacher on the side as well at a private school here in town.
Awesome.
And so, kicking around some ideas with our leadership staff on, how can we engage kids and keep them moving too?
Right. Excellent. So now we're at a spot where there's like constantly shifting goalposts on how long folks are going to stay closed for. Obviously, you were told the 3rd, now you're told the 30th. What kind of conversations are you having with your staff or even with some of your close clients that this might go May, June, July, something? Have you guys talked down that road yet at all?
Man, it's impossible to, right? I mean, it's hard to try to hit a moving target. And
right.
So, right now I feel like we're treating it as if we're on a sailboat in the middle of the ocean, and we know that way is north. We don't
Awesome.
see any dry land really. We're looking for it. We know that it's that direction, but we're all in it, together.
I dig it. How did your community receive that message early on that this was your pivot? You were going to go online. They were happy with it? Anybody struggling with it?
Man, I cannot say enough about our people, our community, our folks. They have been incredibly supportive of what we're going through right now.
Awesome. Good to hear.
And I think that a lot of that hinges on, just the way things are presented, whether or not you're authentic with your people.
Right.
And I think at the end of the day, it boils down to, this is a pressure cooker for your gym's culture, period. End of story.
Yep.
Like, as affiliates, this is putting downward pressure on your culture. And if things are fracturing, just take it as an opportunity to learn and grow from what your culture is. Like, to see the way that our people and our community have stepped up and supported us, and man, just engagement with our at-home workouts and emails, supportive emails that I've gotten. It's just a testament to the authenticity of the fact that, man, we're in this together. Like, they are supporting me, and they see, man, you're doing everything you can to keep us engaged.
Provide them.
Yeah, and
provide that. Yep, I dig it.
Yeah, and so I don't say that to affiliate owners to be like, hey, if things are falling apart, you're no good. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is allow this to be a teachable moment, to where if things aren't where you thought that they were, hey, it's just an opportunity. That's why we're talking, right? It's an opportunity to step up and to improve some stuff.
I dig it, man. Are there any?
Just because we're in a place that I'm proud of doesn't mean we don't have things that we need to improve on, for sure.
Sure. I guarantee you every affiliate owner has got a list, and they're walking down each day trying to look at items that they can improve upon. I mean, obviously no one is in the gym right now. And so there are some affiliate owners that are overhauling their facility, not just cleaning the rowers or cleaning the assault bikes, but they're painting, they're improving their bathrooms, they're improving their office space. They're getting new logos on the door. But I mean, some people are going to town. I mean, luckily you built your. Luckily you just built your.
Sure.
So you guys are set.
Well, that's the point I wanted to make. It is, this is an opportunity for you to catch up, right? Like, sure, it sucks. It sucks your doors are open. Okay, but this is an opportunity for you to do that project you've been putting off because you hadn't had time. It's an opportunity to, like you said, deep clean. It's an opportunity to dig into your financials and know your numbers. It's an opportunity to increase your web presence and improve your website. It's an opportunity, see it as an opportunity that you can control versus a downfall that is outside of your control. And ask yourself if they got on the TV tomorrow and said, you can open your doors in 12 hours, would your business be better or worse than when your doors closed?
Yeah.
And if the answer is not better, then what are you doing?
Right. Yeah. This isn't a vacation time for affiliate owners right now.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Man. So to that point, because we recognize we exist, all gym owners are existing on this spectrum, those that are thriving and those that are learning, but then we've got a chunk of affiliate owners that are falling apart. If you had a chance to deliver a message through this opportunity, what would you encourage them to do, or to, what would you say to them? The non-thriving ones.
Sure. I mean, I think the first thing you have to do is like triage the situation and figure out where's the bleeding. And it's probably something, along the lines of non-renewals or people putting their accounts on pause or something to that effect. They're defining their the
worth or their,
they're defining it as, okay, I'm failing because everyone's pausing their accounts. Okay, then I need to address one, how do I keep people from pausing? Like, come up with some sort of strategy for keeping people from pausing their accounts, communicating the value of the pause, but then also offer alternative solutions. Get creative around, what can you do, right? What can you control? Man, it's been cool to see some of the ideas people have come up with, around how they can keep some revenue streams going. I mean,
nutrition alone seems to be a pretty powerful one.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the nutrition side of things, is a great example of like the value of those personal relationships, because there's so many, as we know, go spend, $60 a month and get this templated, personalized nutrition plan.
Right.
That's not personal at all. And yeah, maybe you can text a human being whenever you want or whatever, but it's not a person that is qualified, that lives in your town, that, I mean, yeah. And I know that that's a resource, and it may not be a viable option for some people. They don't have that in place, but hey, let's work towards getting that in place.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I totally dig it. I'm really impressed with the ability for you to communicate to your staff. Like, we've got to have flexibility. We've got to drive innovation. We've got to think about, facing forward, community first. And the fact that you said authentic human to human relationships are first, you're set up. Like you're set up for long-term success that way. Guaranteed.
Well, thanks, man.
Anything you want to leave with? Any questions or any reflections kind of now on this first journey into owning a gym?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've been part of CrossFit for a long time now. I mean, I think 14 was like my first intro to like the open and the games and all of that. So, I mean, not as long as a lot of people, but seeing this community go through this together is really, really kind of neat. I think that, we put the big names and the big people up on pedestals sometimes, the Fronings and the winners of the games and the Talking Elite Fitness guys. And one thing that's like been really kind of eye-opening was like, I heard Froning giving his podcast the other day, and he was like, yeah, man, like we're wondering some of the same things, like, people canceling and we're trying to support staff and, we're trying to figure some things out. And
real humans.
Like he's a guy of faith too, but it's the real deal. I mean, you're watching like Elijah Muhammad like lead a Zoom class, and you're like, man, this guy's going through like this. He's doing the same thing that I'm doing at 6 o'clock in the morning and 5:30. Like he's a multi-time games athlete, and we're all in this boat together,
Yeah.
So to see like, it's not the, guy that works at the factory and George Clooney you know, or Tom Cruise and the person checking out at the groceries. Like, it's really cool to just exactly. So you might have seen them on TV, but they can relate, and yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool, and you never know, man. Like, reach out to the people that you think won't answer your messages. Like, reach out to Dan. You know, just because he's the CEO of Push Press, man, that doesn't mean he won't answer your questions.
Yeah,
you know, reach out. Yeah, I mean, reach out to the big name people that you think won't give you the time of day. You'll be surprised. I promise.
Yeah, I agree. Totally. I totally agree. Man, well, I appreciate your time. I know as a gym owner, it is stretched thin right now. So from all of us at Push Press, myself, getting to know you has been a great honor. And I know that you're going to lead your team through this. So
thanks, Eric.